All right. Good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Headline Hits with LW. Today is Friday, January the 14th, 2022. I almost said 2021. Sometimes it's hard to get used to the new year, but we're halfway through January almost. So it goes by so fast, and it's just another opportunity for us to make a difference in this new year, and that's what we're trying to do. So let's dive into the headlines. We're going to start off with a prosecutor who is tied to BLM, and she's being indicted. So left-wing Baltimore prosecutor Marilyn Mosby indicted for fraudulent mortgages on Florida homes. The left-wing Baltimore, Maryland prosecutor Marilyn Mosby, an early figure in the Black Lives Matter movement, was indicted Thursday on federal charges for fraudulent mortgage application on homes in Republican-run state of Florida. Mosley gained notability in 2015 when she prosecuted 6 police officers for the death of Freddie Gray, an African American man in police custody. She announced the prosecution as the city was facing protests by Black Lives Matter and riots. Critics said that she had been too quick to charge the officers, and what had happened was it fell apart. It really crumbled, and they got off. So the left celebrated her. Hollywood embraced her, and the late artist, formerly known as Prince, invited her on stage with him. But the prosecutions were sloppy, and the officers were soon acquitted, which resulted in riots and a lot of stuff that happened because of that. Mosley remained in the news, notably demanding in 2021 that the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, to censor local news stations for publishing, among other things, a report that she had taken trips overseas sponsored by the group linked directly to the left-wing billionaire philanthropist George Soros, who was backed by the left-wing prosecutors. So Soros has been throwing his money around. We all know it. If you can't find the proof of that, then you're not digging deep enough. But he's been throwing his money around, buying prosecutors and buying all kinds of judges and stuff out there. So he even sponsored her. The indictment published by here's the source. The indictment published by Baltimore NBC, affiliate of the WBAL Channel 11, claims that Mosley committed fraud and perjury by taking advantage of the CARES Act, the first sickness relief bill, to claim falsely that she qualified for the sickness related distribution from her public employee retirement account. Now, I can read on and on and on. I mean, this thing goes on, lists all kinds of stuff. But basically, she allegedly received $36,000 on the first payment and then filed again. And she used the $36,000 to put a down payment on one home in Florida, in Kissimmee, Florida. And then the second payment that she received from the stimulus package was $45,000. And she put another down payment on a home in Longboat Key, Florida, allegedly. But now she's being indicted, and they're investigating her, and who knows where that might go. We'll keep an eye on it. All right, let's move on to the next headline. The next headline is the plea to destroy the filibuster. So let's dive into this one. Christine Simi and Joe Manchin, which Manchin's been in the news for weeks now, they reject Biden's plea to destroy filibuster election integrity. Senator Christine Sema, a Democrat from Arizona, and Senator Joe Manchin, a Democrat from West Virginia, on Thursday rejected President Biden's plea to destroy the 60 vote filibuster threshold that would make way for election integrity destruction. Speaking from the Senate floor while Biden was urging Democrat senators to curtail the filibuster, Semi defended the filibuster as the deliberative body's mechanism for forethought public debate. Woo, some big words for me today. Um, so she went on to make all kinds of statements, and I don't want to read some of them because there's a point to this at the very end. This week's hearty discussions about Senate rules are but a poor substitute for what I believe could have and should have been a thoughtful public debate at any time over the past year, she says. She goes on to say, but what is the legislative filibuster more than just a tool that requires new federal policy to be broadly supported by senators representing the broader cross section of Americans? She also continued to say demands to eliminate this threshold from whichever party holds the fleeting majority amount to the group of people separated on two sides of a canyon shouting the solution to their colleagues. So she's not going for it. Manchin's not going for it, and Biden is not happy. She's her statement is important because Biden needs all 50 Democrats. Let me repeat that. Biden needs all 50 Democrats, all senators, to say yes to the votes of altering the filibuster rules. Our mandate, it seems evident to me, is to work together and get stuff done for America. She goes on to say, and no matter on the matter of destroying election integrity, SEMA indicated she supports the Democrats' effort to federalize local elections, but that the bills do not fully address the disease. So she still wants federalizing of the election laws and the feds to take over elections and not have it on the state's lap. She wants that to happen, but she doesn't agree with getting rid of the filibuster. She goes on to say that there's a disease of division in America, and we don't really know what the cure is yet. Manchin told reporters after Sema's speech that he supported her position by stating, "Very good, excellent speech." And then the White House press secretary, Jen, circled back around Pulowski, told reporters Wednesday that Biden would visit the Senate for Thursday lunch to impress upon the Democrats the importance of destroying election integrity. This is she goes on to quote, "This is a defining moment that will divide everything before and everything after, when the most fundamental American right that all others flow through are from, the right to vote and to have your vote counted, is at risk," end quote. She also says he's heading up to the Hill tomorrow to speak to the caucus to make a strong case that you've heard him make in public directly to the members. Um, it's just it's amazing that there are some Democrats that are trying to stand up to this, and I applaud them for making the effort, and I hope that they stay strong in this because the filibuster is something that we definitely need. It's important that we have it, and to eliminate it is not a good thing for us. All right, let's move on to the next headline. We're going to talk about human smuggling. So, human smugglers earned $1 billion from the U.S. to Mexico border in just the month of December of 2021 alone. Yeah, that's a lot of money. International U.S. Customs and Border Protection documents revealed by Breitbart, Texas reporter, that human smugglers received up to $1 billion in December of 2021 alone. On average, migrants claim to have paid smugglers more than $5,000 per person, with more than 170,000 apprehended in the month. The number is likely much higher, considering more than 400,000 migrants are believed to have eluded Border Patrol apprehension in 2021. The document shows migrants on average paid more than $8,000 each to human traffickers in the San Diego sector. Migrants interviewed in the Del Rio sector admitted to paying slightly more than 4,000 per person. It has a list here of all the regions and the average cost per migrant that is paid, and it ranges anywhere from $4,000 all the way up to $8,000 each. Um, they're making billions, obviously. What else is in this article that I thought you needed to know? I think that's pretty much it. It's definitely disturbing that that's going on. And I think I hit the wrong article, but that's all right. We're gonna roll with it. Okay, so completely embarrassed Biden. Let's hit this article. MSNBC's Mitchell, Kristen Simia completely embarrassed Biden. I like this article because it goes on to say exactly what her agenda, in my opinion, was to let Biden know. This is from the previous article. It's combined with that and talks about the filibuster. So they had a big deal about it yesterday. So MSNBC anchor Andrea Mitchell said Thursday that Kathy on the Caddy tour reports that Senator Kirsten Sinema, Democrat from Arizona, completely embarrassed Joe Biden by giving a speech on the Senate floor opposing changing the filibuster ahead of Biden meeting the Senate Democrats on the Hill. So they're even picking up on that in the lamestream media, and it's in my opinion, it's a big deal because it really shows Biden where he stands, even in his own party. Um, he's not winning on any front. I'm telling you, folks, he is in some serious trouble, and it's just devastating to his administration. Nobody's supporting him. Nobody is going along with his agenda, and it's obvious. All right, let's move on to Georgia. This one here I found interesting. I don't want to give too much praise to the governor of Georgia because I think a lot of these people, including Kemp, can be snakes. But from what I'm seeing in these articles that I'm reading about him, it seems to be he's trying to make a difference, and I don't know, in my opinion, he's on the right track. So let's look into this. Kemp delivers State of the State. Georgia's unprecedented economic success. It paves the way for $1.4 billion to help fund K through 12 in schools and education. So Georgia has money to spare this year, and Governor Brian Kemp, the Republican, plans to direct much of it toward education, the governor said during the State of the State address on Thursday. Kemp laid out a host of education related priorities at the beginning of his speech, including uh, com- competing, sorry, completing the second half of 2018's campaign promise of $5,000 for each teacher increase in their pay, and that's great. I really hope that he goes through with that. He fully revising education budget cuts that were made in the response to the sickness, and passing a parental bill of rights. Now, the other reason why I wanted to bring this up is this is great, in my opinion. They're also looking to bring power back to the people, back to the parents when it comes to education in Georgia. At least what it's I'm reading right now. So if that changes, let's hope not. So Kemp stated, "Our state has celebrated unprecedented success." And he goes on to say, and I want to pick this up and tell you guys this because I thought it was very interesting. The state ended its fiscal year in 2021 with $3.7 billion budget surplus, which an Atlanta Journal Constitution analyst found was due largely to revenue growth from the state income sales and corporate income taxes, as well as federal sickness relief. It also goes on to say that they contribute this to keeping businesses open and lifting the restrictions so people can go back to work. Now, this is the other thing that I want to bring to your attention is where they talk about putting the power back to the parents to give them the opportunity to help with the curriculum. So it is a bill that they're getting ready to pass that would allow parents to get involved in the state curriculum for the education of their own children, and I think that's very important for parents to do that. From the classroom to the ball field, there are those who want to divide our kids along political lines, push partisan agendas, and indoctrinate students from all walks of life. Kemp said, "It's wrong. It's dangerous. And as long as I am governor, I will not take root. It will not take root in Georgia." So he's even talking about ending, excuse me, CRT. The governor said that education related legislation Georgia plans to pass this year will serve to prohibit divisive ideologies like critical race theory and pit kids against each other. So I just really think that the governor from Georgia is on the right path, and I hope that he stays in that path because it could really make a difference in Georgia. Okay, this one here breaks my heart a little bit. A judge removes father's visitation. So in Canada, a judge removes father's visitation rights over the vacation status. Now, I'm not going to go and read this whole thing, but basically, this is out of the province of Quebec, and a judge decided that he was going to suspend a father's right to see his 12-year-old child because he had not been fully vacationed. Now, the mother threw a fit because he wanted one extra day during the holiday season. And because he was not fully vacationed, she threw a fit, went to court. This was back in December of 23rd of last year. And the judge ruled in her favor and said that they would revisit it in February. And if the father had complied and got fully vacationed, then he would probably lift the suspension. Now, this is what the mother said. The mother said, quote, "He is a conspiracy theorist." And she objected to him having a right to see his own child. Now, the child is fully vacationed. So I ask you, if you are fully vacationed, what are you afraid of? Seriously. If you're vacationed and I'm not, if the vacation works, what are you worried about? Anyway, I pray for that father. I hope he gets his visitations back. All right, we're going to move on to the next headline, which is murderers MS 13 members arrested with migrant groups at the Texas border near Mexico. Now, this is another big long list, and I'm not going to dive into it too deep, but basically, Border Patrol agents in the Rio Grande Valley arrested 5 criminal immigrants in a span of 30 hours, Tuesday and Wednesday. Post arrest investigations realized that 2 of them were convicted murderers. One of the 5 was a sex offender, and 2 were MS 13 members. These guys have a rap sheet as long as my arm, from aggravated assault to attempted rape to homicide to theft, all kinds of things. And the Border Patrol agents are picking these people up at our border that are coming across illegally. That is a big deal. And we talk about the border crisis all the time and how this administration is not doing a dang thing about it. Not one thing. So I'm going to move on to the next headline. We all know what's going on at the border. I just thought I would throw that out there to you because it's just some pretty bad people coming across the border. When lamestream media puts it out there that it's unaccompanied children and families, that's not true. Yes, there are some unaccompanied children, and yes, there are some families coming across, but there are a lot of criminals coming across that border as well. So it's not so innocent like lamestream media makes it. So let's go on to Joe Biden being disappointed by yesterday's Supreme Court ruling on the OSHA vacation mandate. I want to hit some key points here with you. So, President Joe Biden on Thursday was disappointed that the Supreme Court ruled against his sickness vacation mandate for all businesses with over 100 employees. I'm disappointed that the Supreme Court has chosen to block common sense, life saving requirements for employees at large businesses that were grounded squarely in both science and law. Really? That's a lie. That is an absolute untruth. If you follow the true science of it, when there's a survival rate of over 99% and therapeutics that have a rate of over 99% effectiveness, that is a lie. You're not following the science, Mr. Biden. You are a liar. Period. So it goes on to say that it was a 6-3 decision. And he goes on to say Biden, how disappointed he is, and how he's still going to use his position as president to push, nudge, encourage, twist the arms of all these businesses to still enforce the mandates. Mandates are not law. They're not law. And the Supreme Court just ruled against it. So now you've got a rogue president here who's going to still push it anyway. Now, they also had another ruling, which I found very interesting, and I want to talk about it before I move on to the next headline. The decision on the CMS medical mandates was a 5-4, and Chief Justice Roberts and Justice Brett Kavanaugh joined the three Democrat appointees. But it goes on to say that they ruled the opinion pointed out that the mandate for medical workers includes an exemption. Listen, an exemption for employees who object to getting the sickness vacation for religious or medical reasons, leaving open options for employees who do not want to get vacation. But Biden comes back and says, well, I think they should still have to do it. And I'm still going to lean on them hard and try to force these medical hospitals and clinics and all these other places to still try to force people to take this mandate, to try to take this vacation. Listen, folks, you have to stand up for your rights. You have to push back. No, we will not concede. We do not consent. It's bottom line. Now the Supreme Court is trying to help you here. They're giving you a little breathing room, but you got to do your part. You got to step up and say, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to concede. I'm not going to consent. All right, let's move on to the next article. This is going to be the last one. So Joe Biden angry that 1/3 of Americans are not wearing their dirty diapers on their faces during this pandemic. President Joe Biden complained that Americans had stopped wearing their diapers during the sickness pandemic, promising to send better fitting masks to Americans for free. Well, I got news for you there, old pudding in your pants. I have not worn a mask since this whole thing started. I'm okay. And there are thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people out there that have done the same thing, have not wore one of these things on our faces since this whole thing started. And I hope they continue. I hope less and less people do it. I think it's way more than a third. I think this article's bullshit. I think it's way more than a third of Americans not wearing it. There's nowhere I go that I see anybody wearing them. About a third of Americans report that they don't wear the diapers at all. And Biden noted disappointedly, and the president spoke about the diaper wearing during a speech on his video. But wait till the punchline here. You're gonna like this. I promise you. During a speech in his video set across the street. So here we go. So this video was made across the street from the White House as the ongoing battle against the sickness. So he's not even doing any kind of press releases, any kind of videos, any kind of statements, any kind of addresses in the Oval Office. He is still across the street on a stage. That's not the punchline. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, I knew it, and all the other stuff that comes along with that thought process. But that's not the punchline that I'm looking for in this. He makes this stupid statement where he says, I think it's part of our patriotic duty. Well, sir, my patriotic duty is to stand up to tyranny. And that's exactly what you are. That's exactly what your administration is. And medical tyranny does not fly with me. So my patriotic duty is to say no. That's my patriotic duty. He said about wearing masks that although he admitted that it's not comfortable and a pain in the neck. And here comes the punchline. At the very end of this speech or whatever he was putting out there, he says, please, please, please wear your mask. And then he looked over to reporters and he made the statement, this looks stupid. There's the punchline. He said that on air. He said that on air. Wearing a mask looks stupid. You can't make this stuff up, folks. You cannot make this up. So anyway, that's the headline hits for today, for Friday the 14th, 2022. I hope you all enjoyed it. And don't forget, today is Podbean's 3 at 3. It's going to be me, Captain Finger, and Tammy Nation, 3 at 3 on Podbean. You can also catch us on Spotify and Amazon Music. But if you want the live version, we will be on Podbean this afternoon, 3 at 3, under LWN Podcast. We are one of the fastest growing podcasts out there. We are number 10 in the top podcast all over Podbean, the entire Podbean. And we have now grown over 6,100 subscribers. Thanks to you guys. Thanks for sharing that out. Thanks for all the likes and helping and support us. We really appreciate it. So I'll see you, or you can hear me over on Podbean later this afternoon. And then I'll be back here on YouTube at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 6 Mountain Time. Love you all. Have a great day.